Good morning, and thank you for joining us for the 5 News Yule Log, sponsored by Indigo Sky Casino and Resort.
Merry Christmas. You may notice it looks a little different than your typical morning newscast, but today we're doing something a little different. We're doing this to let our 5 News family spend time with their loved ones. For the next 2 hours, we're going to have a little holiday fun. We'll have a Yule Log show with cozy, crackling fire, some holly jolly music, and readings of classic Christmas stories by some of your friends here at 5 News. But if you're hoping to still get caught up on some of the latest news while getting in the holiday spirit with us, good news, you can do both. While watching us here, you can still get your news, weather, and sports right now at 5newsonline.com and 5+. All you have to do is search for KFSM on Roku or Fire Stick TV or on the 5 News app on your phone. Now, let's get to the festivities. I'm going to start our morning off with one of my favorite poems for this time of year, The 3 Kings by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. 3 kings came riding from afar, Melchior and Gaspar and Balthazar. 3 wise men out of the east were they, and they traveled by night and they slept by day. For their guide was a beautiful, wonderful star. The star was so beautiful, large and clear, that all the other stars of the sky became a white mist in the atmosphere. And by this they knew that the coming was near of the prince foretold in the prophecy. 3 caskets they bore on their saddle bows, 3 caskets of gold with golden keys. Their robes were of crimson silk with rows of bells and pomegranates and fur belows. Their turbans like blossoming almond trees. And so the 3 kings rode into the west, through the dusk of the night over hill and dell. And sometimes they nodded with beard on breast, and sometimes talked as they paused to rest, with people that they met at some wayside well. Of the child that is born, said Balthazar, good people, I pray you, tell us the news. For we in the east have seen his star, and have ridden fast and have ridden far, to find and worship the King of the Jews. And the people answered, you ask in vain. We know of no king but Herod the Great. They thought the wise men were men insane, as they spurred their horses across the plain like riders in haste who cannot wait. And when they came to Jerusalem, Herod the Great, who had heard this thing, sent for the wise men and questioned them and said, go down into Bethlehem and bring me tidings of this new king. So they rode away, and the star stood still, the only one in the gray of morn. Yes, it stopped. It stood still on its own free will, right over Bethlehem on the hill, the city of David, where Christ was born. And the 3 kings rode through the gate and the guard, through the silent street till their horses turned, and neighed as they entered the great end yard. But the windows were closed and the doors were barred, and only a light in the stable burned. And cradled there in the scented hay, and the air made sweet by the breath of kine, the little child in the manger lay, the child that would be king one day of a kingdom not human, but divine. His mother, Mary of Nazareth, sat watching beside his place of rest, watching the even flow of his breath. For the joy of life and the terror of death were mingled together in her breast. They laid their offerings at his feet. The gold was their tribute to a king. The frankincense with its odor sweet was for the priest, the paraclete, the myrrh for the body's burying. And the woman wondered and bowed her head and sat as still as a statue of stone. Her heart was troubled, yet comforted, remembering what the angel had said of an endless reign and of David's throne. Then the kings rode out of the city gate with a clatter of hoofs and proud array. But they went not back to Herod the Great, for they knew his malice and feared his hate, and they returned to their homes by another way. Merry Christmas. We hope you have a great day.
Bells of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don me now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, fa la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, fa la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, fa la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure, fa la 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 la. Now, faster way. la la. Sing we joyous all together, fa la 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 la. Heedless of the wind and weather, fa la 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 la. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Call the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la.
Good morning, I'm Alexandra Burnley from 5 News, and today I want to read for you a section from the author of The Wizard of Oz, L. Frank Baum's book, The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus, titled How Claus Made the First Toy. Truly, our Claus had wisdom for his good fortune, but strengthened his resolve to befriend the little ones. He knew his plan was approved by the immortals, else they would not have favored him so greatly. So he began at once to make acquaintance with mankind. He walked through the valley to the plain beyond and crossed the plain in many directions to reach the abodes of men. These stood singly or in groups of dwellings called villages, and in nearly all the houses, whether big or little, Claus found children. The youngsters soon came to know his merry, laughing face and the kind glance of his bright eyes, and the parents were content that the girls and boys had found a friend who seemed willing to amuse them. So the children romped and played games with Claus. Wherever the young man chanced to be, the sound of childish laughter followed him, and those who knew him were, you may be sure, very happy indeed. Those who felt sad grew brighter in spirit when their merry friend came nigh to comfort them. Only at the beautiful palace of the Lord of Lurd and at the frowning castle of the Baron Braun was Claus refused admittance. There were children at both places, but the servants at the palace shut the door in the young stranger's face, whereupon Claus sighed and went back to the other dwellings where he was welcome. After a time, the winter drew near. The flowers lived out their lives and faded and disappeared. The beetles burrowed far into the warm earth, the butterflies deserted the meadows, and the voice of the brook grew hoarse as if it had taken cold. One day, snowflakes filled the air in the Laughing Valley, dancing boisterously toward the earth and clothing in pure white remnant of the roof of Claus's dwelling. At night, Jack Frost rapped at the door. "Come in," cried Claus. "Come out," answered Jack, "for you have a fire inside." So Claus came out. He had known Jack Frost the snowman. He felt the bite of the chilly air. "There will be rare sport for me tonight, Claus," shouted the sprite. "Isn't this glorious weather? I shall freeze scores of noses and ears and toes before daybreak." "If you love me, Jack, spare the children," begged Claus. "And why?" asked the other in surprise. "They are tender and helpless," answered Claus. "But I love to freeze the tender ones," declared Jack. "The older ones are tough and tire my fingers." "The young ones are weak and cannot fight you," said Claus. "True," agreed Jack thoughtfully. "Well, I will make sure the children are warm tonight," he promised. "Good night, Claus. Good night." The young man went in and closed the door, and Jack Frost ran on to the nearest village. Claus threw a log on the fire, which burned up brightly. Beside the hearth sat Blinky, a big cat given to him by Peter the Knook. Her fur was soft and glossy, and she purred never-ending songs of contentment. "I shall not see the children again soon," said Claus to the cat, who kindly paused in her song to listen. "The winter is upon us, the snow will be deep for many days, and I shall be unable to play with my little friends." The cat raised a paw and stroked her nose thoughtfully, but made no reply. So long as the fire burned bright and Claus sat in his easy chair by the hearth, she did not mind the weather. So passed many days and many long evenings. The cupboard was always full, but Claus became weary with having nothing to do more than feed the fire from the big woodpile that Nooks had brought him. One evening, he picked up a stick of wood and began to cut it with his sharp knife. He had no thought at first except to occupy his time, and he whistled and sang to the cat as he carved away portions of the stick. Blinky sat up on her haunches and watched him, listening at the same time to her master's merry whistle, which she loved to hear even more than her own purring songs. Claus glanced at Blinky and then at the stick he was whittling, until presently the wood began to have a shape, and the shape was like the head of a cat with 2 ears sticking upward. Claus stopped whistling to laugh, and then both he and the cat looked at the wooden image in some surprise. Then he carved out the eyes and the nose and rounded the lower part of the head so that it rested upon a neck. Blinky hardly knew what to make of it now and sat up stiffly, as if watching with some suspicion what would come next. Claus knew the head gave him an idea. He plied his knife carefully with skill, forming slowly the body of a cat, which he made to sit upon its haunches as the real cat did, with her tail wound around her 2 front legs. The work cost him much time, but the evening was long and he had nothing better to do. Finally, he gave out a loud and delighted laugh at the result of his labors and placed that wooden cat, now completed, upon the hearth opposite the real one. Blinky thereupon glared at her image, raised her hair in anger, and uttered a defiant meow. The wooden cat paid no attention, and Claus, much amused, laughed again. Then Blinky advanced toward the wooden image to eye it closely and smell of it intelligently. Eyes and nose told her the creature was wood in spite of its natural appearance, so she resumed her seat and her purring. But as she neatly washed her face with her padded paw, she cast more than one admiring glance at her clever master. The cat's master was himself pleased with his handiwork, without knowing exactly why. Indeed, he had great cause to congratulate himself that night, and all the children throughout the world should have joined him in rejoicing, for Claus had made his first toy.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, all the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. Oh, what fun it is to sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. All the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. Oh, what fun it is to sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Welcome back. We are having the most fun this morning hanging out with these adorable and sleepy little furry friends in Fayetteville.
Yeah, now some of you may have brought home a little fur baby in the stocking this morning, or you're thinking about bringing one home soon.
And we want to encourage you to check out your local shelter or rescues. There are so many pets there right now who need a loving home just like yours. Now, a little bit later in this segment, we're going to give you a list of all those not-for-profits, shelters, rescues, where you can take a look at some of these pets. They need a loving home just like yours.
We're here at Big Paws, where not only is it a place where you can adopt your new best friend, but it's also a place that you can get training for your dog, whether you adopted it from here or not. I'm here with Matt Newton, Director of Training, and he's going to tell us a little bit about why it's so important to get your dog trained. Thank you so much for joining us, Matt.
Oh my gosh, thank y'all for being here.
Yeah, of course. So can you kind of tell us, what age would you recommend dogs get trained, especially if they're adopted?
Yeah, absolutely. So with any and all dogs, training really does start the day you bring your dog home. So if that's 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 2 years, you know, that's the day you should start training, is the day you bring that dog home, to make sure you're setting it up for success in your home, in your specific environment, so that they can fit in well to your lifestyle.
And can you just kind of talk about how that eased the transition for pet owners and for the pets themselves?
For sure, absolutely. And so it definitely makes things less stressful on the dog, on you. When your dog's not running through the house, tearing up the trash, all that stuff, it makes you kind of enjoy your relationship with your dog a little bit more. But it really gives your dog that much more clarity on what's expected from them and how they can succeed with you, how they can, you know, not pull on a leash and enjoy walks and get more walks with you.
So for someone who's hesitant to put their dog in this kind of training, what kind of things do you teach them, and why is it so important that they know, hey, it's going to be okay, it's better in the long run?
Absolutely. So it's always a challenge, you know, taking that first step, coming in for training. Training is relationship based. So we always offer a free consultation so you can come in and meet us, because you really need to feel comfortable with whatever training you decide to move forward with. We offer a variety of training packages to try to hit every need, but you know, that's something where you want to find the right fit for you and make sure that you're going to have fun while training, because if you're having fun, your dog will have fun, and it's going to be a successful adventure for both of y'all.
So do you mind kind of showing us a few of the things that maybe they learn while in training?
Heck yeah, absolutely. Nova, come. Yes.
This is going to be
Nova.
good stuff.
Nova, come. Yes, good girl. Good job. Winnie. So right here, they're, you know, kind of trying to stay where they're supposed to be on their little place object. Nova, place. So that way when you have guests come over, you can give them a place to go to succeed. Yeah, good job. And then they won't be rushing the door. You can kind of walk away, all that good stuff, you know, and make sure that they're not going to be terrorizing the house, terrorizing your guests coming in when they're coming over for Christmas this year.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, when do y'all offer those training courses? Can people look that up online, or do they need to sign up in person?
Absolutely. You can find all this online, or you can give us a call, shoot me an email, and then we can always set up a free consultation. You can book our training packages online, or you can give me a call and we can chat about what's right for you and your dog.
All right, thanks for that, Matt. Well, stay with us because Joe will be here in just a little bit with the director of Big Paws.
We're here with the Executive Director with Big Paws of the Ozarks, Kayla Mace. Thank you so much for being here. I just love these little guys. They're so cute. This one's sleeping. So let's talk a little about, it's important to know that a lot of the local shelters around our area, they can get overcrowded. Like these guys right here, for instance, they come from a place here to get a new home.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are very proud to work with our amazing local shelters in Northwest Arkansas, but they have so many dogs coming in and they only have a certain amount of space. And so we partner with them and help get dogs out and make more room for them in their shelter, and also get little guys like this out of a shelter environment and into foster homes where they can be loved and doted on until they're adopted.
Ready to go to that forever home.
Absolutely.
For sure. So let's talk about the adoption process. It could be sort of a lot for some people when they think about that, but you guys make it easy.
We do. We try to have low barrier adoptions, which means that our application is really short. We do a phone call with you. We'd like to get to know you. And then our favorite thing in the whole world is matching dogs with great homes. And so we're happy to chat and learn exactly about what you're looking for in a dog. And then we can kind of help point you in the right direction too for what dogs we have in rescue. So we try to make it as easy as possible to come in and get a dog. You can just fill out that application online.
Absolutely. And talk about some of the things you look for to match the pets with a forever home.
Yeah, so we think it's really important, especially this time of year when people are looking at Christmas puppies. They are so cute and adorable, but puppies are a lot of work. And so we really encourage folks to think about the time and attention they have, their activity level that they have, and we can help match a dog that might be appropriate for your certain activity level. And then of course the space that you have, and making sure you find a dog that's appropriate for your home and your environment.
You have to have lots of love to give.
Absolutely, lots of love.
All right, thank you so much. They're certainly enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for
being
having
here.
us.
Make no sound. Hold my breath, then fall down. You lift me up and tell me, sweet, you're all I need. Sing for all the years. It gives me hope when you're not here. You call me up and tell me, sweet, you're all I need. Sing for all the years. It gives me hope when you're not here. You call me up and tell me, sweet, you're all I need.
All right, we're having a lot of fun here this morning. Now, as your meteorologist, do want to remind you how the weather can affect the health of the pets this winter. Now, the Red Cross has put out some tips that we could follow that'll ensure the health and safety of your pets as it gets chilly outside. All right, obviously, we'll start with number one. Bring your outside pets inside on really cold nights. Pretty simple, right? Other things we can watch for is remember their skin and their coats. Okay, just like the dry weather can dry out our skin, it can dry theirs out as well. Now, a couple things you can do is put some booties on those paws, maybe some petroleum jelly. Also, keep in mind, not all those ice melt products are pet friendly. There are some de-icers out there that have chemicals in them that are not pet friendly. Then you just gotta watch for signs. Watch for signs of hypothermia, maybe some anxiousness, whining, or maybe they're moving slowly. not moving. Things like that. Know your pets, keep an eye on them. And then as we go into the winter, we know we're going to get prepared for some big winter storms at times. When you're doing that, putting together emergency kits, think about your pets as well. Put some things in there for them just in case you lose power.
And as much fun as we're having with the puppies,
It's time to get back to our Yule Log celebration.
All right, as promised, here's a list of places in your area that you can go on your search for your new family pet.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Well, Rachel, I hope you got some really cool stuff in your stocking this year.
I did, Steven. Have you ever had an orange left in your stocking before?
Well, definitely not, but do you know where those Christmas traditions come from?
Yeah, some say that tradition comes from a time when fresh fruit was really hard to come by. So to have a real orange in your stocking, it was kind of a big deal.
Well, get this. In Eastern Europe, Christmas ornaments are usually spider webs. The story is that way back when, a family didn't have enough decorations for the tree, so spiders got to it overnight. In the Christmas morning light, it looked like silver and gold, and that's where the tradition of tinsel comes like, and you may even see some spider Christmas ornaments still.
Wow, that's so cool, Steven. And get this too, Christmas lights have an interesting history too. In 1882, one of Thomas Edison's new employees wanted to show off his latest invention. That's the light bulb.
Yes, I know, Rachel.
Well, that same employee, he got the lights, wrapped it around a Christmas tree, put it on a pedestal in the window for everyone to see.
And crowds of people came in. Now I have one more for you. Do you know where the term mistletoe comes from?
No.
It's actually bird droppings.
Ew, gross. That's enough. Thank you, Steven. And we're going to let you get back to our Yule Log.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Streetlights burning brightly, bringing back sweet memories. I've been away for so long, I miss my friends and family. A cold December breeze blowing gently on my face. Strangely feels like a warm embrace. And then I think to myself, gotta get home, gotta get home, gotta get home for Christmas. Gotta get home, gotta get home, gotta get home. Old town and see the faces that I know. They always welcome me back. Nowhere else I'd rather go at this time of year. So gotta get home, gotta get home, gotta get home for Christmas. Gotta get home, gotta get home, gotta get home for Christmas. And now the snow is starting to fall. It makes the city streets shine like diamonds. And then I hear a the beauty that surrounds us this time of year. So I gotta get home, gotta get home, gotta get home for Christmas. Gotta get home, gotta get home, gotta get home for Christmas. Gotta get home, gotta get home, gotta get home. Streetlights burning brightly, bringing back sweet memories. Gotta get home, gotta get home, gotta get home for Christmas. Gotta get home for Christmas.
Feliz Navidad and Merry Christmas to everyone. I'm Jose Carranza and I would like to read a story for everyone at home, including my daughter. This is a great story by the Brothers Grimm called The Elves and the Shoemaker. There was once a shoemaker who worked very hard and was very honest, but still he could not earn enough to live upon. And at last, all he had in the world was gone, save just leather enough to make one pair of shoes. Then he cut his leather out, all ready to make up the next day, meaning to rise early in the morning to his work. His conscience was clear, and his heart light amidst all of his troubles. So he went peaceably to bed, left all his cares to heaven, and soon fell asleep. In the morning, after he had said his prayers, he sat himself down to his work, when to his great wonder, there stood the shoes already made upon the table. The good man knew not what to say or think at such an odd thing happening. He looked at the workmanship. There was not one false stitch in the whole job. All was so neat and true that it was quite a masterpiece. The same day, a customer came in, and the shoes suited him so well that he willingly paid a price higher than usual for them. And the poor shoemaker, with the money, bought leather enough to make 2 pairs more. In the evening, he cut out the work and went to bed early, that he might get up and begin bed betimes next day. But he was saved all the trouble, for when he got up in the morning, the work was done ready to his hand. Soon in came buyers, who paid him handsomely for his goods, so that he bought leather enough for 4 pair more. He cut out the work again overnight, and found it done in the morning, as before, and so it went on for some time. What was got ready in the evening was already done by daybreak, and the good man soon became thriving and well off again. One evening, about Christmas time, as he and his wife were sitting over the fire chatting together, he said to her, "I should like to sit up and watch tonight, that we may see who it is that comes and does my work for me." The wife liked the thought, and so they left a light burning, and hid themselves in a corner of the room behind a curtain that was hung up there, and watched what would happen. As soon as it was midnight, there came in 2 little naked dwarfs, and they sat themselves upon the shoemaker's bench, took up all the work that was cut out, and began to ply with their little fingers, stitching and wrapping and tapping away at such a rate that the shoemaker was all wonder and could not take his eyes off them. And on they went, till the job was quite done, and the shoes stood ready for use upon the table. This was long before daybreak, and then they bustled away as quick as lightning. The next day, the wife said to the shoemaker, "These little wights have made us rich. We ought to be thankful to them and do them a good turn if we can. I am quite sorry to see them run about as they do, and indeed it is not very decent, for they have nothing upon their backs to keep off the cold. I'll tell you what, I will make each of them a shirt and a coat and a waistcoat, and a pair of pantaloons into the bargain, and do you make each of them a little pair of shoes." The thought pleased the cobbler very much, and one evening when all the things were ready, they laid them on the table, instead of the work that they used to cut out, and then went and hid themselves to watch what the little elves will do. About midnight, in they came in, dancing and skipping, hopped round the room, and then went to sit down to their work as usual. But when they saw the clothes lying for them, they laughed and chuckled, and seemed mightily delighted. Then they dressed themselves in the twinkling of an eye, and danced and capered and sprang about, as merry as could be, till at last they danced out the door and away over the green. The good couple saw them no more, but everything went well with them from that time forward, as long as they lived. Feliz Navidad. Merry Christmas, everybody.
It's a magic time of year. Now everyone is here. Decorations hardly bling. Santa's landing, sleigh bells are ring. I like you when you dance to my song. I like the way you try to sing along. Now it's time for Christmas cheer. Santa Claus is coming here. It's the perfect time to shine with the mistletoe and wine. With my friends and family, having lots of fun with me. The bells are ringing out today, telling me it's time to play. Banging on that drum, it's Christmas time for everyone. Whoa, the fire burns so bright. Come on, let's celebrate tonight. Look up, see the reindeers dance on by. 'Cause Santa's coming. I like you when you dance to my song. I like the way you try to sing along. Now it's time for Christmas cheer. Santa Claus is coming here. It's the perfect time to shine. With the mistletoe and wine. With my friends and family, having lots of fun with me. The bells are ringing out today, telling me it's time to play. Banging on that drum, it's Christmas time for everyone. It's the perfect time to shine with the mistletoe and wine. With my friends and family, having lots of fun with me. The bells are ringing out today, telling me it's time to play. Banging on that drum, it's Christmas time for everyone.
There's a long-standing tradition across America of tracking Santa as he makes his way all around the globe. It's done by NORAD, and so I thought to myself, I got to know more about this. What better person to ask than an Arkansas native, Master Sergeant Tabitha Lee, who works at NORAD. That's who we're joined with today. Now, Miss Lee, you got to tell us, how did this all begin?
So the tradition of tracking Santa actually started 69 years ago in 1955. There was an advertisement in a local paper for kids to call to talk to Santa. Incidentally, they listed the number incorrectly for this hotline, and it ended up listing an unlisted number, and it was the number to call Cheyenne Mountain Space Force Station, well, what is now Cheyenne Mountain Space Force Station, and an Air Force colonel answered the phone, and at first he thought he was being pranked, right? Because they're calling a military installation asking to speak with Santa Claus. And when he realized that it was actually a child calling to talk to Santa, he decided, you know what, I'm gonna tell him where Santa is. And so he told the child, you know, this is where Santa's at, this is where we're tracking him. And then from my understanding, that night more calls came in because this number is what they had. And the colonel kind of instructed people, hey, yeah, let them know where Santa's at. And then since then, we've been doing it.
So this long-standing tradition of 69 years all began because of an accident, a typo, a misprint.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I imagine over 69 years, our technology has evolved, right? What tools are you guys utilizing to track Santa?
Right. So NORAD actually uses 3 different systems every day, right, to track what's going on in North American airspace and abroad, right? So we use military aircraft, we use satellites, and we use radar. And those systems allow us to track what's going on in North American airspace and provide warnings and safeguard our airspace every single day.
And that helps keep Santa safe as well. So everyone wakes up with Christmas presents and a Merry Christmas that morning.
Mm-hmm.
You guys calculate the speed of Santa, which is quite remarkable. He moves very quickly all around the globe. What goes into that, or is it top secret?
So the actual speed that Santa travels is so fast. We know that it's faster than starlight, but we don't have exact numbers. There's a lot of information that only Santa knows, and that's one of them.
So how many people are involved in running Santa Tracker there at NORAD? Like, give me the behind the scenes.
Right. So there's over 1,000 people that help, including like NORAD Northcom itself, our military, civilian, right? We're a binational command, so it's U.S. and Canadian military here. So it's all of them. We also have a ton of local volunteers that volunteer to answer phones at the call center and share the information. And then we have over 70 private and corporate contributors that help us with all the behind-the-scenes technology and websites and phones and things like that, because it's a huge lift, and we're thankful for all of our partners that help.
So describe NORAD on Christmas Eve. What is it like? What's the atmosphere like, and how intense does it get?
So it is extremely exciting. This will be my first year being part of like the NORAD Track Santa and the call center. But I can tell you just in the building now, the excitement, it's already up there. And I'm really excited to be part of the call center and be part of actually seeing it like in the control center now. Like, I'm really excited to see that.
So tracking Santa is more than just his location. Are there any other features that that families and children really enjoy?
Yeah, so if, you know, we have our call center that they can call, and the number for that is 1-877-HI-NORAD, or they can go to our website, which is www.noradsanta.org. And on that website, there's actually a lot of activities they can do. The website's up now. There's some games they can play. There's a countdown. There's some videos on there about NORAD and kind of the things that we've done in the past and some history. And then on December 24th, they can see on there the tracking of where Santa is, and still play games and stuff on that night as well.
What are some other things that you typically like to tell folks in the public about NORAD Track Santa?
So an interesting fact that I learned when I came on and I started with this program was actually that the systems that we use every day to track in North American airspace, right, and abroad, we actually use a system that tracks infrared, which is what Rudolph's nose gives off, right? It gives off an infrared signal just similar to like a missile launch, and that's how we're able to track where Santa is.
One of the ways. Makes so much sense. So there's a lot of fun here, but there's also a lot of science all at the same time. what message do you have to the boys and the girls, the children out there that are highly anticipating Santa's arrival this year? Any final messages?
So I will say, we know, right, that Santa, historically speaking, from all the data that we have, right, he goes across the globe, he comes to people's houses, he drops off the presents, but we also know that he only does it when children are asleep. That is the one thing that we know. We don't know when he's coming, typically between 9 p.m. and midnight, but the kids also have to be sleeping for Santa to show up.
You heard it from Master Sergeant Tabitha Lee, children. She's the one that's tracking Santa this year, and she says you got to go to sleep early, otherwise Santa may not come. Master Sergeant Lee, we are so thankful for your time here this morning. And I got to tell you, we are actually going to be broadcasting your Santa tracker on our free app 5+. So the folks can call the hotline, they can go to your website, they can download our app. It's going to be anywhere you could possibly be. And hey, here's the thing. If you need our Doppler radar network, you know how to get a hold of me. Just give me a call, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
Merry Christmas. Incredible work by the folks there at NORAD. 69 years. What a legacy. Next year marking number 70. You can guarantee we'll have our Doppler radar turned on to help the folks there at NORAD track Santa come next year. In the meantime, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas.
What we all did this time last year on this certain frosty holiday filled with cheer. I hope we never change the plans that we arranged. Hey, how about we stay? Let's do Christmas by the fire. All of us together here tonight with our friends and family. Oh, what a perfect sight on this cold frozen night. The twinkle of the lights. Come on inside and we'll do Christmas by the fire. We can go to far places, but there's one thing that's for sure. Wanna spend this time warm on a cold night. It's a perfect plan. I hope each year will find us right back here for another white Christmas, friends and family near. We always keep it fresh, and it's a joy I must confess. And so I will say, hey, let's do Christmas by the fire.
Oh, I am having the best time watching Channel 5's Yule Log special before I turn in for my long winter's nap. But I wanted to share a very special poem. It's called The Christmas Tree by J.C. Shearer. Oh, the Christmas tree, the Christmas tree. Green are the boughs of the Christmas tree. And wherever I am, on the land or the sea, there always appears at this season to me the vision bright of a Christmas tree. I have been in lands where ice and snow were all around, above and below. But even then I caught the glow, shimmering over a wintry sea, from a distant land and the Christmas tree. In lands that are scorched by a tropical sun, where summer and winter are both as one, I have stood on the shore when the day was done, and caught the echoes of innocent glee, from a faraway land and a Christmas tree. Let the voices of sorrow and mourning cease, and the mourner break forth in a carol of peace. For over each care, like a golden fleece, fall the halo of love with its venison free. Oh, the hearts that are cheered by the Christmas tree. Away with all doubts, all cares and fears. It is not the season for sighs and tears, for down through the 1800 years comes a voice that is saying to you and to me, rejoice, for I gave you the Christmas tree. Brightly the stars may be shining tonight, that moon flood the world with its silvery light, or the clouds hide the moon and the stars from our sight, but we care not how heavy the darkness may be. There's no cloud or the light of the Christmas tree. There are gifts here for all, for the young and the old. Here are trinkets and toys of more value than gold. May the warm hearts that proffer them never grow cold, but look back from the heights of the future to be at the bright shining lights of the Christmas tree. Oh, the beautiful Christmas tree, the Christmas tree. 'Tis a beautiful sight for the eye to see, the cheerful wave of its branches green, and friendship's gifts that are placed between. Oh, a beautiful sight is the Christmas tree. A wonderful poem and a wonderful evening. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. One-horse open sleigh.
Hey everybody, Darren Bob here. Welcome to my home on this Christmas morning. We hope you're having a great Christmas morning. I want to say thank you for allowing our staff to have this morning off so they can spend time with family and friends. And a real big thank you as well for letting us into your home each and every morning and night right here on 5 News. And before we go this morning, I want to read one of my favorites. This is one my parents used to read to us when we were kids and grandkids, of course, The Night Before Christmas by Clement Moore. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. Children all nestled all snug in their beds, with visions of sugar plums dancing in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there rose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his courses they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the courses they flew, with a sleigh of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then the twinkling I heard on the roof, the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot. His clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his sack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk and laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Now you know why it's one of my favorites. Again, if you want to watch this program again, you can do so on our 5+ app. You can find it on Roku TV, also on Fire Stick TV, and on our 5 News app that you can download on your mobile phone. And again, if you want to see all the news and headlines and sports throughout the rest of the year, it's 5newsonline.com. Now, there are a lot of people who put a lot of time in every day to make 5 News what it is every day of the year. You don't get to see them, but we want to recognize those folks who do that hard work every single day. Have a great Christmas, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your king. We wish you a Merry